Okay, Washington State wrestling fans, we're live here with Guerin and Lena Flanagan. We want to welcome both of them for joining us today. But before we get into the podcast, of course, we want to start off with our Washington State wrestling announcements. First and foremost, we want everybody to know that our Washington State tournament, the Chuck Bullard Memorial, is now open for registration. Doors open at 6:30 on Saturday, February 18th. This year, we're capping our registration at 1,600 athletes, just like we did last year. So Tony Nunez, don't call me up and ask me to get your daughter in because you forgot to register her after the deadline. Yes, Tony, Jay Terry, both of you guys were guilty of it last year. We are capping it at 1,600, not 1,604. So if you guys don't, and we did hit our cap last year, just so everybody knows, get in, register, sign up. It's going to be a great event. We were working on that today with Tom at the Tacoma Dome. We are selling tickets again at weigh-ins the night before on Saturday or the day before. They're $10. The proceeds of those tickets actually go to support Washington State Wrestling. Any tickets that are sold at the Tacoma Dome actually goes to the city of Tacoma. So we ask that all you guys come buy your tickets from us because we get to keep the money to help offset our costs for our national teams and like athletes like Lena and Cameron that travel the country and their families. The other big announcement this weekend, Winter Warrior, we extended our deadline till Friday at 10 o'clock. So if you haven't registered for that, it's going to be a great event here in Spokane at the Convention Center. Big shout out to them for helping us with winning the bid for the cadet duels here in Spokane in June. We've made that announcement, but they definitely do a lot for us. Another big announcement coming up, not to go into freestyle Greco, but we have a kind of a three series all girls tournament this year, starting with the Women's Columbia Cup in the Tri-Cities on March 4th, I believe it is. Then the following week, we have a Battle of the Bling at North Mason High School, followed up in April with the Bandit Freestyle all-girls competition. All three of those events are a pretty good event, and I know if you win all three of them, all the tournament directors are kind of getting together to do something special, so I don't know what it is. And then aside from that, we have our Girls Folk Style Nationals in Texas that's coming up. Cameron, what's the date on that?
What's the date, Mom?
March 22nd.
Yeah, March 22nd.
March 22nd through the 4th. Thanks, Lena. Thanks, Julie.
Gotcha.
So with that, Washington, if your girls are going down there, we are looking at possibly putting a girls dual team in on Sunday. Well, we are going to on Sunday. We have a link on our Washington State Wrestling website. Get on there, fill it out, so we know who's interested in doing it. Washington State will actually pay for the registration of the dual teams, but we're not paying airfare and everything to get everybody down there because we're doing that for freestyle over in Tulsa this year. And then one last thing is Northwest Regionals in Centralia. Last year, I believe we had 770 athletes there between the boys and girls. This year, we're adding our schoolboys in that. That's a festival. It's not actually a regional for the schoolboys. It's still a regional for cadets and juniors and the junior women for seeding points for duels in Fargo. However, our cadet staff wants to start getting a better look at our schoolboy team. So if you're looking at competing at schoolboy duels this year in Indianapolis in the beginning of June, definitely make a plan to come join us at Northwest Regionals and battle it out and let those coaches start talking to you, and your parents can gather all that fun information. But aside from that, let's get into the meat of the conversation. We invited Cameron, Guerin, and Lena to join us. Both of these girls are two of our best female wrestlers in the state. But they're doing some amazing work behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of people actually are aware of. And I wanted to talk to them about what that is and then try to get that message out there to more of our clubs and athletes.
I didn't touch anything.
And all that. What's that, Cameron?
Sorry, I can't hear anything. I'm trying to fix it.
If you go up on the, oh, you can't hear me, so it doesn't matter.
Cannot hear anything.
Well, while you guys work on that,
Why did this have to happen?
Did your speaker get unplugged or your microphone? Or did you mute your microphone?
Sorry, I can't hear you guys. I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Did your speaker get unplugged?
I can't hear anything. Oh, I can hear from my mom's phone, so I can.
That's a delay, but that's okay.
It's so behind. Never mind.
I will talk with Lena.
What the heck?
Don't curse though, because we can hear you. All right. So Lena,
I don't know what's going on.
while she's working on that, we'll skip Cameron and come back to her. Hopefully she'll get mic working. So you're having a pretty good season this year. What, you're 20-1, right?
Yes. Yeah. 20-1.
Cool. How does that feel?
Good. I don't like to put pressure on myself about like my record and how I'm performing. I like to just treat every match the same and wrestle.
You're a pretty aggressive wrestler though, huh?
Yeah, I'd like to say that, yes.
So how'd that one loss happen?
Where were we? We were at Linden and I got DQ'd for being too rough.
Being too aggressive?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, so technically you're undefeated minus your DQ.
Yeah.
And you're getting ready to prepare for postseason. You guys got sub-regionals coming up.
Yes, we're at White River.
You guys are at White River this year, and then you guys got your regional. Where's your regional at?
Decatur.
Decatur? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck there.
I got it.
Hey, Jordan.
My bad.
Hi. Sorry about that.
Oh, we can hear you now. We're talking to Lena. We'll come back to you here in a second.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
All right. So, Lena, some of the things that I was pretty impressed with, you guys emailed me the other day, or you guys, well, you actually didn't email me. You guys started a campaign on Facebook, I believe is where I saw it at.
Yeah.
I liked it. And then you emailed me.
Yeah, we're like, ooh, just a newbie? Like, we need to, like, get on that train.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel honored.
You
you want to take a minute and tell us a little bit about this legacy you're hoping to leave behind?
Yes, so I'm starting a scholarship fund called Lena Flanagan Freestyle Greco Scholarship, and it gives Washington State wrestlers who have wrestled folk style the opportunity to bridge into a freestyle season. So it's aimed to increase the number of freestyle wrestlers within Washington State at the cadet and junior levels, so ages 14 to 18. Part of it is it will provide like a financial backing to athletes who don't have that kind of opportunity or that support at home. So it's a needs-based. It pays for the USA card. It pays for a red and blue singlet. It covers up to five tournaments for the season, and then your club fee. So, and it's aimed to like increase the number of athletes within Washington State wrestling, and then also give athletes, folk style athletes who wouldn't have the opportunity to like try out or experience a freestyle season.
Awesome. So you guys put this together. Was this something you came up with, or were you just woke up?
Yeah, we were thinking. So, as a senior, I want to like give back to Washington State freestyle and Greco wrestling because it's been an important part of my wrestling journey, and I think it's improved both my folk style wrestling and then just like it's changed who I am as a person, and it's increased like, of course, my aggression because got DQ'd for that. But I think it's changed like, and the people I've met and like the relationships I've created through Washington State wrestling has like helped me get to where I am today. So I really want to provide that opportunity to other athletes who are who don't have that who aren't available or don't have the opportunity or the support to have that experience. So the hope is to like provide an experience for athletes who wouldn't otherwise have it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So With what you just mentioned, you were talking about how it's changed or had a big impact in your life. What are some of the highlights that the freestyle national team journey has impacted you?
Well, I think I've definitely made connections with people from all over the country. Like, I go to tournaments now in Oklahoma or Body Bar in Texas and nationals, of course, and I see all these girls or these other athletes that I've like created bonds with and friendships that I wouldn't have otherwise had I not been introduced to freestyle in Washington. So not only have I like created friendships within Washington State, but I've also it's bridged out and created friendships from girls all over and around the nation. And I think that's really important because like later in life, these are the kinds of bonds and friendships that stick. And you know, I may go to Oklahoma sometime, or I may go to New York, and I'll have the opportunity to either sit in with like a club or, you know, have dinner with an old friend that I used to wrestle with at nationals when I was 17, you know? So it's creating like life experiences and life relationships that later in the road can, you know, still be there. And it gives you the opportunity to like meet new people and just broaden your like interconnections and stuff.
Lena, how old are you? 17, 18?
I'm 18 now.
I wish when I was 18 years old, I was as intelligent as you are and as well-spoken. I'm 36 and I'm probably still struggling to carry myself as well as you do. So, Lena, you know, on behalf of Washington State, from our board and everybody else, I think, you know, what you're doing and that legacy that you're trying to leave behind to help those kids, I think is coming from a youth is very commendable. And we definitely want to tell you thank you. And I'll keep my eyes out and ears open to see if I can't steer some people your way and see if you can't help them out.
Yeah, and so if you want to get involved or you want to apply, you should go to, we made a Facebook page that has the application on it. It's called Lena Flanagan's Freestyle Greco Scholarship. It's on Facebook. There's a link that you can download a PDF form of the application. So it is application based, and it's based on like, we have a group, we have a committee who scores it, and then it's the highest scores. And there's a scholarship opportunity for both a female athlete and a male athlete. And so if you go to our Facebook page, Lena Flanagan Freestyle Greco Scholarship, you'll have a link to the application. And then also you can email me at thelenascholarship@gmail.com if you have any questions, and I can help direct you and show you how to get there if you need anything.
Okay, and I'll also share that on our Washington State Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I can send that. I told you I'd send a link out or whatnot on our next email coming up. So,
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, good luck with that, and thank you for helping us continue to grow Washington and make it even better than what it's been. I think, you know, the last couple of years we've had some great success, and I only expect to see that to continue to grow with the plans that you guys have in store. So we're going to go on to Cameron, because Cameron also has a great product that she's trying to push out and promote girls wrestling here in Washington. I've seen a lot of the Facebook pictures of it, and it's pretty cool. But before we get into that, Cameron, congratulations. You just hit 115-0 last weekend in Othello, right?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So how's your high school season? I mean, obviously you're undefeated. So how's your high school season going this year for you?
It's going great. I'm staying hungry, which is a great thing. I'm grinding day in and day out still. I'm game strong in every aspect, and I just feel like I'm on top right now.
Awesome. So do you have any big plans going into the postseasons, or just keep grinding and staying on top?
Sure, doing my best and going for that 4th time. I'm looking out to
Well, best of luck with that. What are your plans after high school season?
I have a couple of college visits I need to finish up and do that, and I mean that's what we're really talking about, and that's kind of been the main subject as of lately. So that's what I'm focusing on.
Where are some of the schools that you're looking at, if you don't mind us asking?
Yeah, so I visited Oklahoma City. I've visited Campbellsville University, and I need to visit SFU, King, and McKendree.
Is there one that sticks out more than the others, or can you
Right
not
now
give
I'm
that
just
information?
undecided. I'm keeping it kind of open right now, so.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, and then you're also going to Texas for women's nationals.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then are you going back to Fargo this year?
I'm not sure. Possibly, yes.
Well, we would love to have you there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Go win another, keep that national title going.
Yes, that'd be
So
awesome.
really get her there. All right. Well, Cammie, I know you've been working on some stuff. I talked to your mom earlier at the season about it. It's called Destin to Shine. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that and what the legacy is you're wanting to leave behind with that?
So yeah, it's kind of been, I don't have like a senior project or anything like that, but this is something I've wanted to do for a while. For as much as I've given to the sport and put in all my time and have all my coaches put the work into me, I want to make sure I give back to not only my state but to also these little girls that look up to me. So because I surprisingly I've had parents come up to me and just tell me how their little girl, even their little boy, look up to me and see me as a role model, and that kind of touched my heart. And for the past couple years, I've been wanting to do something like this, and so I thought for my senior year, I'd kind of dedicate. I don't want the spotlight to be on me. I kind of wanted to taking my forte time with like these young girls, and I want to show them that they can do these things, and not only just for high school but for college and for possibly the Olympics and stuff like that. I just want to prove to them that they can do greater things than just the sport of wrestling. So
Do you know how many of those girls that you've done the Destin to Shine with? Well, do you think a lot of them will be at our state tournament and watching you win your fourth state title?
yes, the girls that I've kind of like narrowed it down. I've had the girls that I'm dedicating these tournaments to. They're very serious wrestlers. They're from third grade to maybe eighth grade, so they're the younger girls, and I know a lot of them. So a lot of them are on my team, and one of them is my cousin. They're extremely great wrestlers. If I was at their level when I was younger, I mean, it's just crazy to see how much the sport has grown. I know a lot of these girls, and I know they will be great, and I know they will take. I mean, for Washington, they're great wrestlers, so I know they will be there at the state tournament and even more. So yeah.
And so after this season, your Destined to Shine legacy, you're actually, you don't have to tell us who you're maybe passing that torch on, but you're wanting to kind of send that down the pipeline to the next upcoming senior.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's my goal. I want to make sure that it's passed down each year to the top wrestler in the state. So I'll pass it down to another senior next year or after this year when I'm after state when I'm done. So they
Well, I think the girl you're looking at, I think is probably one that's like you, a lot of kids look up to.
for sure.
I've seen those Facebook pictures of her down on the mat with 4, 5, 6 girls sitting around her, and she's like talking to them, kind of like you. And so I think that'll be awesome. Again, you know, of course, we want to help you out any way we can to help you carry that torch. So whatever we can do, you know, obviously get that message out to as many clubs as we can, especially next year, as you know, it may kind of hopefully it doesn't fall by the wayside, but you know, people kind of forget about, oh wait, yeah, and then it comes back out. So when you guys pass that torch, you know, if that athlete wants us to help, definitely let us know. And you have a list of all the girls that you've been working with, right?
I do. I have actually a lot. I have a good amount of girls that have reached out to me, emailed me, messaged me. On our face, you can contact my mom or me on Facebook or email, but a lot of it is through Facebook. So yeah, and a lot of these girls have came out to watch me during the tournaments, and I'll give them my shirt, or of course, I'll talk to them, and they're just in awe, and it's just it melts my heart just to know that these little girls look up to me, because when I was young, I really had no one to look up to. I mean, it was just me and the boys on the mat, and I mean, you could look up to all these Olympic athletes, but they're all males. I mean, it was just something normal to see, but I feel like if I was younger in their situation, seeing all these women, I feel like it gives them that push and motivation to know that they can do things that the same thing men are doing in the sport as well.
Well, you're probably almost more accomplished than most men in this state. So, well, if not, you are. So anyway, well, Lena, I forgot to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What are the schools that you're looking at?
So I am signing with PLU next week. It's the first university in Washington to start a women's program. Kyle Foster, he's a big Washington guy, of course. Silver certified. He's the coach. So I'm super excited. It's a new program, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. There's lots of growth, and the school's great. So education-wise, it's awesome. And then wrestling-wise, it's awesome too. It's just like the perfect fit.
So is Kyle doing the boys and girls at PLE?
Yes. So we have a men's program and a women's program.
And he's going to coach both?
Yeah, for now. So as soon as, because we're brand new this year, this is their first year. They were just welcomed into WCWA and NAIA in September. So they missed the recruiting season last year. So a lot of the wrestlers that are on the team this year are just athletes who decided that their wrestling career was over because they needed to sacrifice something for their education. So we have a lot of like dedicated athletes who have wrestled in high school, and now that PLU has a school or has a program, they can wrestle at school too. So he's like recruiting this year though for incoming freshmen, because it will be the first like recruiting season for the school.
Awesome. Well, I didn't know.
No,
Kyle.
it's new, but it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. I didn't know Kyle Foster. I love Kyle, but I didn't know he was I didn't know that. So I heard about the girls program. I didn't know he was going to be doing both of them for a little while. So congratulations, Kyle, if you're watching. Last question for both of you, and I'll go with Lena first. Leaving this podcast, is there any advice that you can give these future upcoming female wrestlers that watch for Washington?
I think the most important like piece of advice is probably not only to like believe in yourself, but believe in the process. So although it seems like every time you take a loss, like you're one step farther from your goal, but just see that like you don't ever lose, you just learn. So although it may be a loss and like it's unfortunate and it's sad to lose, just know that from that loss, you can take things and you can learn things. So it's important to remember that like we never lose, we only learn. I think that's really important.
Very much. And Cameron, last question. Any words of wisdom, advice that you can give these young athletes?
Yeah, you know, for the younger kids, I feel like it's most important to keep it fun. And even when you're preteen, I think you need to have a great balance too with your normal life, your childhood, and just growing up and enjoying the ones around you, but also to keep grinding and never give up, and just push for your goals and just strive for the best.
All right. Well, guys, I honestly thank you very much for taking the time out. I know it's getting a little bit late. Well, it is for me. I normally go to bed at 8:45, but I thank you guys both for joining us. Hopefully, I look forward to watching you guys compete this season in Tacoma. It's always fun watching both of you guys wrestle. I've been able to watch. Actually, I didn't really know who you were, Cameron, 2 years ago when I first took this job. And we were in Fargo, and I FaceTimed or live, whatever you call it, on Facebook. I went live and just learned how to go live on Facebook. And this same year, Clay Quintanilla was there, and Dalton Young, and all these, hammer guys were there. And I went live, not even for your finals match. I think it was your semifinals match, and 14,000 views in less than 3 days.
Oh, wow.
I filmed Dalton, and to this day, it still only has 7,000. So
Wow.
I think yours actually is almost 20,000 views. It was crazy.
Well, thank you. That's awesome.
Lena, you've had a lot of views, but nothing like Cameron.
It's
So
okay. It's okay.
Yeah. And so I actually purposely, when I was at Fargo a lot, actually went live for your matches a lot because we just had a ton of people that viewed it. And I made a prediction on this podcast when I made the announcement that both you two would be on it. This podcast would probably be the most viewed podcast that we've done year to date. Just because whenever you guys are in the pictures, the following is crazy. So I'm just glad that you guys are leaving a piece of your heart here in the state with your scholarship fund, with the Destin to Shine. I know both of you guys are going to shine great at the next level. Cameron, I am particularly fond of your family. I think your mom's awesome.
Thank you.
And watching you grow over the last 2 years has been a fun journey. Even though I'm not the guy in the corner, I'm just a guy in the back. Watching, it's been fun. Lena, of course, your family, love them to death. Your dad, whenever I'm in a bind on the computer, I call him up, Eddie, hey, fix this. How do I do this? And they're always there to help right off the bat. So both of you guys, thank you. I know I'm not the only one that looks forward to watching you guys in the Tacoma Dome. My advice to you would probably be the same advice that I gave my brother when he was going for his 4th state title. And that's just go out there and kick ass and don't wrestle like you're not to lose. Go out there to win the match, because I think a lot of Cameron specifically, a lot of people in your situation go out there not to lose instead of just go out there to wrestle. So just like you gave that advice to have fun and enjoy it, when you step on that mat in the state finals, go out there and have some fun and just kick some ass. So
thank you.
But anyway, best of luck. And tell your families thank you for letting us carve some time out of your evening tonight. And good luck in school. Keep the grades up. And Cameron, really consider joining us in Fargo this year. We need you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes,
All right.
thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you much. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Thank you.